Hello dear friends, and welcome to the Nightingale Tarot. This is going to be your Sunday reading to see how you will meet the one. If someone's wondering, I am still going to be making the monthly astrology readings. If you are a follower and a subscriber of me and you're wondering, like, is this what she's going to do from now on? I'm doing this and I am going to be doing the monthly, so don't worry about that. So let's get into it. Please pick one of the cards before you. I will start from left and go to right. So the first card is this one. Second card is this one with the flower. And the third card is this one with my wedding band on it. So all of these pretty mighty, beautiful symbols for eternal love, I would say. Pause the video if you need to connect with the cards and really feel which one reaches out the most to you. And then you can see the timestamps down below in the description. So let's get into it. Card number 1. Hi guys, I actually had to pause the video and make an additional shuffle with one of the decks because I had forgotten to sort it in the way it was supposed to be sorted. So let's get into it. So how you will attract the one. It looks to me like you have quite a lot of processing to do. When you have processed and come clear with some traumas or maybe ideas that you've held on to on how a connection with a loved one should be, some ideas that have really been stabbing you in the back, it hasn't been practical or useful for you to hold on to these ideas. When you let go of these ideas and you purify yourself, perhaps these are patterns and conditions that you are carrying with you from your childhood. Many times we carry things with us that we've seen our parents do to one another, or ways that we've learned to connect with people through our parents, because our parents are the first guardians and the first people that we actually connect with in life. And so usually if you do have your parents in life, or otherwise your caregivers, it looks here like you have had some stagnant patterns in your life in regards to how you connect to someone, and you've been holding on to these ideas. And once you've had a purification process, which can very well take place in a much deeper state, perhaps in hypnosis or in spiritual work somehow. It could also be that you get more into magic or perhaps dream work, writing down your dreams, interpreting them. You need to get into your subconscious and you need to really dig deep and take out some of your most, kill your darlings, some of your most precious held beliefs of what a soulmate connection or a loving connection will look like. And once you have done this, and once you have purified yourself of these stagnant energies that are perhaps been holding you back in earlier relationships, and that are perhaps also holding you a prisoner of your idea of who you're supposed to meet and how they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to bring to you, that is when someone will quite magically appear, someone who has quite a lot of potential to build a very solid foundation with. The Pentacles being a card of solidity. So once you have come to terms with these a little bit darker sides of yourself, or not dark as in evil, but dark as in sides that are keeping you back, sides of yourself in your subconscious that are unknown, that are predetermining how you behave in relationships. Someone will appear who maybe is different from what you imagined, might be, or it doesn't have to be though, but it's someone who's quite dependable and someone who you will really be able to plant seeds with, someone who really knows what it means to have a stable foundation, to have a good life situation, to have a stable work situation, and who will really want to make a long-term commitment with you. The Page of Pentacles being like the seed or the offering of something very stable and long term. This might be an earth sign, or at least it's someone who really appreciates the material aspects of a couple life. The material aspects being, for example, having a joint living, or making enough money to be able to go on vacations together, having children, eating good food together, all of these things. This person will come in and they will really have that type of personality, so that you feel that this is someone I could really build something long-lasting with. So beautiful. This person that you meet, it might also be so that you seduce them with the depths of your emotions. It looks to me like you have a lot going on under the surface, which is both, of course, means that you have more to process before you go into this. The vulture being a card of processing something, of taking the dirt and the hardships of the past and turning it down and making it into something beautiful for the future, making room and space for beauty to come in, sort of like when you clean up at home, right? And the moon being a card of the deep depths of our subconscious. So it might be so also that you will allure your partner a little bit with the deep depths of your imagination, your dream life, the mystical side of you. And there is more to you than meets the eye, and people will sense that. So if you clean out your closet and you make space for someone to actually be able to come in and surprise you, they will most probably be quite allured by you, and this depth that you have will be able to sustain their interest for the future. So that's beautiful. Yeah. Number 2. You got the Otter. So you who picked number 2, you got 3 major arcanas out of a random deck, and you will be able to mesmerize your future partner, the one that's supposed to be for you, through your very self-assertive nature. There is something to you that is both very playful and very powerful. It looks like you are the type of person who have really come clean with yourself on a lot of issues, and you really have come into your own. You own your own power. And so it might be so that you have a pretty abundant life going on already. You have money, you have worldly status somehow, or at least you will have at the point where you meet the one, and you have come clean with a lot of deep past traumas and so on and so forth. So it looks like what will allure your partner to come to you is the fact that you really know who you are at the point where you meet this person. You really know what you're worthy of, and you won't settle for anything less, because you already have so much status and you've already done so much deep work on yourself. And in fact, you have quite a lot of like worldly power that is, for example, you might be a very influential people in your workplace, people care about your opinion, you have very high self-confidence, and you have money coming in. But not only that, this very secure stance that you have in your life is allowing you to also go beyond the borders and be quite playful. So when people actually get to know you, you're no longer at all this sort of stern figure that you might be in the workplace, or that you might be in, you know, the larger community. But in fact, you are the Otter, which is a very playful, childish sort of influence. You have this quirky side of you that not perhaps everyone gets to see, but the people that are close to you. And you can really make people laugh, and you can really make people happy. You are quite a light person, it seems, because even if you can put on this stern energy when needed and really get the job done, you also, like I said, have this childish side to light things up, and that's really beautiful, I would say. So I think this childishness that people will notice about you is something that will really attract a partner. First, that they notice that you have such a high self-confidence. You know, it might take you a little while actually to find the one, and the reason is that you are at such a high place in life that you wouldn't settle for anything less, and people notice that, and people might get intimidated by that. So while it seems like you are the total catch, it might in fact be so that a lot of people don't come off to you. They don't try and hit on you because they get nervous when they're around you, because they notice how pure you are in yourself, and how knowledgeable you are about yourself and what you expect for yourself in life. But the few people that do come through and that do want to come on to you because they dare to, and perhaps because they feel they are up to the challenge, will be very intrigued by this unusual combination by worldly mastery and social status, and at the same time this playfulness and childishness that you possess. You won't be a person who wants to you are not a person who will be pulling the wagon of the relationship. It looks like you will expect people to come to you, and so also that might make it take a little bit longer, because you're no longer perhaps interested in pulling a relationship forward. Instead, you want a relationship that is obviously working. The Chariot in reverse being someone who really believes in something and really pushes through. And here it's coming up in reverse, telling me that you are in such a good standing that you really want a relationship that just sort of appears and that just sort of works. And so that might also take a little bit longer. That said, it looks like you will need someone who matches you in status somehow. Maybe you will be meeting an Aries, or someone who at least has as much to offer in terms of status, in terms of personality, in terms of future plans, and so on and so forth, to be able to match this beautiful level of life that you've been able to come to. Congratulations! I don't know what to say really. This was a really beautiful combination. Okay, my rings. Woo. Here we go. Oh. Okay, so what this is telling me is that you will attract the one through your willingness to work at overcoming separation and loneliness. It looks like you are the kind of person who are very, very stable, and you are willing to go the mile to really put a foundation in place for a long-term relationship to work. You are not in it to play games. You are not in it to, for example, you're not the type of person who just throws yourself into a relationship and then leaves as soon as it's not working. The Lovers being a card of The Lovers being a card of Gemini, which is known to be quite flaky sometimes and jump straight into things and then just pull out when things don't suit them. This is the shadow side of Geminis, and this is also the shadow types of these types of connections where you fought head over heels in love and you do anything for the other person, but then all of a sudden something goes airy and you know, everything turns to shit. Or the shit hits the fan, like people say, and all of a sudden you're cast out in the cold. You're not interested in these types of flames. Instead, you actually really believe that there is merit to building a foundation and putting work into a relationship. And so, even if you know, it looks like you might meet someone where you might have to work a little bit at getting their boundaries down. But they will be attracted to you because you actually provide that possibility, that you exude practicality and dependability. You're a very loyal person. You are ready to go the mile for the person that you love. You believe in long-term commitment. I love how the rings came up on these cards. And so it might be so that you meet someone who's really beautiful and who really suits you and floats your boat, and you can really see the possibility of something long-term with this person. And what will attract them to you, among, of course, your beautiful personality, but for the long term, is the fact that you exude these personality traits, that you exude dependability and loyalty, and that you really are willing to go the mile for your partner. You don't give up just because perhaps they have been burned in the past and they are nervous about getting into something committed again, because they don't know what to expect. Will someone put a knife through their heart again, or will someone blindfold them or leave them out in the cold? You might meet a person who's a little bit scattered from the past. You know, some people say damaged goods, but I don't know if that's a good term because it sounds so horrible. No one is damaged goods. It's you know, if you're damaged, you can always heal, and once you've healed, you're actually much stronger than you were before, because before you were just naive. You didn't know that there could actually even be any damage. So the person that you meet will have a lot of promise to them, but what will really allure them to you is the fact that you are promising to not break their heart. You're promising to be the real thing. You want to really commit to this person, and that will make them feel safe and secure and eventually open up to you and be way more committed and loving than anyone else could ever be, because when you go through hardships, you know what it means to appreciate the good things, and you appreciate them way more. So this is really beautiful. So that's that. That's how you will attract the one, and that's also a little bit about the one that you will attract. I thought this was a lot of fun. I'm having so much fun making these readings, and I hope you enjoy it too. So if you like this video, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, write a comment, and I will be coming back soon with more videos. Thank you so much. Bye!